Hey, what's up, Stringlings? Today we're going to take a look at the Donner Blues Drive. I've been holding off on this one for a while, so let's check it out. So Donner, as you know, one of my frequent flyers in terms of sponsorships for demos on this channel. And today I'm really excited because I'm going to be taking a look at their Blues Drive, which is a TS9 style overdrive. It's got a little bit of sparkle to it, a little bit of sizzle. I've used it on a few demos already. I'm going to skip the long intro and get right into it. I've got the DST 400. The reason I'm going with this guitar is because we can test the difference between the single coil and the humbucker on the same instrument without switching a lot. And also it's, despite what some people think about budget guitars, this has turned into one of my favorite instruments for testing pedals especially, but also just playing. It's a great playing instrument. So if you haven't checked it out, you should probably see about getting one of these because they're really handy to have and it's a great sounding instrument. But this isn't about the 400, it's about the Blues Drive. So I'm already set up and I'm just going to jump right into it. What I'm using today is the ML Sound Labs Humble amp again. And this is the clean sound that I'm using, and I'm on the humbucker mode on the guitar. So we've got just a little bit of ambience. This is the Magic Sparkle preset or something. It's just a preset on the amp. It's a good clean sound, and it gives us some of that great kind of classic Dumble type sound. So that's just clean, a little bit of sparkle to it. Pretty much exactly what it says on the preset. So I'm going to go ahead and just give you a little taste. This is the humbucker. And then the same guitar, single coil mode. So the single coil is a little bit more sparkly, so it'll give us a little bit more trebly flavor. Now, when we look over at the pedal itself, I don't know if you can quite make it out in the image, but it has a level here, tone control here, this is gain, and then this switch allows you to swap between what they're calling hot and warm. I'm not sure where those descriptions necessarily come from because to my ear, the hot is actually a mellower sound, but you know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Overall, I'm going to say that this is an extremely well-constructed pedal, and it has a great tone to it. The one thing that you want to watch is that on certain settings, especially on the hot side, the tone control doesn't really kick in until it's pretty well dimed out. So I'm going to start with, the level is just a little bit up. I've already done a level check against my clean, so that's why I've turned it up a little bit. And the tone is at noon, and I've got the gain all the way down. Excuse me. So if I just click this on, you're going to hear clunk. There's the clunk. Now the same two chords in humbucker mode. So right now I'm down in the warm setting. Here it is. So right away, it's a good sounding overdrive. And remember, the gain is all the way down, but we're just starting to push the front of this this amp plugin a little bit. If I flip this switch up, you'll hear a difference. So a little bit of actually a fatter sound. To me, that evokes warmth more than the other one, but you know, let's check it out. So if I take just a couple of riffs. Flip it down to warm. To me, I like that sound better. Remember, we're all the way down on the gain, so I'm going to turn the tone up to about, looks like 2 o'clock. Turn it all the way up, and we get a really bright sound. Which, if you're not familiar with kind of tone stacking within the sense of a mix, you kind of want to get rid of a lot of the lower end frequencies anyway. Your cabinet's going to do a lot of that, and your bass player is going to do a lot of that, and then the drummer and all of that. So you want to have this ability to kind of weed out some of those lower frequencies, and that's where that brighter sound comes from. So the same sound, and remember we've got the gain all the way down, the tone all the way up, and we're in the warm setting. Switch over to a single coil, you'll hear a little bit more buzz. Has a great single coil snap to it. Take it back to about 2 o'clock. And it mellows out quite a bit. But what happens when we pull the gain up to noon? You're going to hear quite a big boost in gain. Okay, and back to the humbucker. If we go to the hot setting, again, quite a mellow sound, right? Pull this tone control. And there it really speaks when it's dimed out. Right? And that's just really great sound. Take it to the singles. Ignore the fact that my fingers are apparently incredibly stupid today. Okay. That buzz is, again, that's the typical single coil stuff. I'm going to go to the lead neck pickup here. Same setting. Pretty cool, right? Down to the warm setting again. Still on the single coils, higher up the neck. That's a nice sound right there. That's pretty decent. I could go through a preamp and get that kind of Fender twin sound, but we're just kind of quickly blasting through the settings here, and I'm going to just flip this all the way up. Let's see what a flat out, full on gainy kind of TS9 as flavored by Donner kind of sounds like. I mean, sorry, that's got a lot of that classic single coil sound to it. Back to the humbucker. By the way, I have all of the controls on the guitar all the way up. Just kind of a normal thing that people do. Take that same tone up to the hot switch and take a look. That's really cool. I'm going to take just a pause here, and I'm going to skip over and let's throw a high gain amp on here. Okay, what I've done is I've uploaded, or switched on rather, the Neural DSP Omega Ampworks Granifier, which is one of my favorite high gain amp plugins. This is just one of my own settings from the song Pretty Child, and it's just a really crunchy kind of sounding distortion. Or in the song. So why you would take an overdrive and put it in front of a high gain type amplifier is really to kind of tweak out a little bit. You know, maybe you want to tighten up the bottom end. You wouldn't typically add more gain, just because it's already a high gain amp. So it's hot rodding as it is. So with the Overdrive and the TS8 or sorry TS808 or TS9, pretty typical to use in front of a high gain amp. So I'm just going to stick on the humbucker here. We're not going to do lead tones with this, but I just want to see how this sounds, tightening up the sound a little bit. And you can use the tone control on your Overdrive to make some sort of micro adjustments to that. So let's give it a listen here. So this is the raw sound again. Okay, I'm going to switch this on. Okay, and this is no gain with the tone turned all the way up. Okay, so we have some room here, a little bit of tonal headroom. And without. It's subtle, but it is definitely tighter. We can darken this as well. And then we can switch up to the to the hot switch, and let's see what happens. So it sounds a little bit fuzzier, right? So take that back up and see if that makes a difference. So that gives you kind of an idea, right? You don't have to add a lot more gain in the front. It just gives you that little extra layer of boost. Oh yes, we can also use this as a boost. So I'm going to switch this off. Let me say, okay, we're going to turn the level up. So the pedal's off. Right? Pedal's on. So you can use that as a boost as well. We're going to dial that back down a little bit and just watch what happens when I take the gain halfway up. Let's drop this back to the warm setting, turn the tone all the way up. Right. It gets quite grindy, right? Now there is quite a bit of noise gate on the plugin as well. So back to the hot channel. So why would you add a little bit more gain? Maybe you need a little bit more sustain for your solos, right? So what we're doing is we're reversing what a lot of pedal users tell you. You know, you should put the overdrive after the distortion so you can give it the boost. You can tweak the sound that's coming out of the overdrive. This way what we're actually doing is we're distorting the overdrive that's going in. So it's creating kind of a little bit of extra clipping, a little bit of extra fluff to it, and that really gives it a little bit more sizzle when you start kind of driving home. I would not go all the way up here, but let's do it anyway because why not? We're here. Turn the gain all the way up. The level is where it's at. The tone control is almost dimed out. We're on the hot channel. Let's see what we get. Like that sounds kind of garbage, right? On a rhythm section. It doesn't improve the sound at all. But when you come up to the top, it gives you some more body, some more depth to it. So I think, it has a place for that kind of thing. You have to really play with it a little bit, see if your ambience warrants throwing more gain in front of the distortion. In a future video, we're going to take a distortion pedal and we're going to flip-flop, which side we put this overdrive on, just to see how it changes the sound. But to me, it sounds actually really good. We're going to go to a single coil lead position. So it gets a little bit cheaty because you're letting the distortion do a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of your gain and sustain. But overall, really great sounding pedal. I hope you enjoyed this this little demo. It's been a long time coming. I've had this, working around, and I've been playing with it quite a bit and actually using it in context quite a bit. And I think it's fair to give it a playthrough. Is it a perfect TS9? No, it's the tone adjustment is a wee bit off, and it's actually, I'm looking, yeah, it might actually be reversed in some of the images that they have online. So they think there may be different versions, sort of generational versions of the pedal that have come out. But honestly, you cannot go wrong if you want a really good kind of hot bluesy tone overdrive. This is a really good one to get your hands on. It doesn't cost a lot. I'm just looking at Amazon right now because that's what's on my desktop. And it's listed at $45.99 Canadian, which is pretty decent for a pedal of this quality. I've never had one of these pedals go bad on me, so for sure, check it out. The link is in the description, and I hope you enjoyed this little demo. If you enjoy this kind of content, please remember to like this video and subscribe. Hit the bell if you see one. They seem to be a little bit random with bells these days. And please consider becoming a member of this channel. If you're as a member of the channel, there are a few perks that come along with it, and they also help to support the work that I'm doing. So give that some thought. And in the meantime, we're going to go and check out some other stuff and set up a few more of these. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon.